This new engine is a true game changer. Not so long ago, Toyota announced the development of a new hydrogen combustion engine. However, this is not like any other hydrogen combustion engine. Unlike other car manufacturers that have gone all electric, Toyota has decided to take a completely new path. They have come up with an entirely new technology that we have never seen before. Just as the name says, the hydrogen combustion engine makes use of hydrogen as its main fuel source. Unlike other engines that emit carbon dioxide as a byproduct, this one emits water from its exhaust pipe. This is Toyota's approach to minimizing the carbon footprint around the world. But let's get deeper into the engine. As we have already seen, Toyota has taken a completely different route to reducing its carbon footprint around the world. Instead of following the trend of electric vehicles, they have decided to go with a hydrogen combustion engine. Hydrogen is one of the most abundant elements in the universe. In addition to that, it has the highest specific energy density of any non-nuclear power source. When it is used as a fuel, it is purely exhaust-free and non-toxic, given that even its byproducts are just water. Given its composition, it can be created using many sources, stored indefinitely, and even shipped easily. You may not know this, but millions of tons of hydrogen are produced and used without incident every year. It is already in use as a power source in some buildings, electric cars, forklifts, ships, and even trains. Yes, not everything you see runs on gasoline. The Toyota hydrogen combustion engine makes use of a fuel cell, which converts hydrogen into electricity. Take, for example, the Toyota Corolla Cross H2 concept car. It comes with a 1.6-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine that runs purely on hydrogen. But how did Toyota make this a reality? Well, let's just say that this was the point Toyota started revolutionizing the entire EV industry. With these new engines, the entire EV industry was about to change, and it would never be the same again. Keep watching to find out how they do it. Toyota uses thick, armored fuel tanks to store the highly flammable hydrogen fuel. This idea was picked up from their FCEV, the Mirai. However, it doesn't have to be too large. The Corolla Cross H2 concept car only uses just 5 kilograms of hydrogen, and this is enough to give it a range of about 300 miles. And what about its byproduct? It only produces 50 liters of water. And last we checked, water is not that bad for the environment, unlike carbon dioxide. To make this concept even better, Toyota has partnered up with Yamaha Motor to create a V8 engine that is powered by nothing but hydrogen. This engine is actually quite powerful, producing about 455 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. Just to make it stand out, they also added an 8-to-1 top-mounted exhaust manifold, which creates a pretty unique high-frequency sound. When you compare the Toyota hydrogen combustion engine with other electric vehicles, the hydrogen engine has a lot of advantages. The main advantage is that it has a larger range, and refueling is as fast as a drag race. By achieving this, it reduces the need for limited supply materials, such as lithium and nickel, all of which are critical to the manufacturing of EV batteries. Even though this car uses a battery to store some power, it is not as large as an EV battery. As of the last quarter of 2023, the Corolla Cross H2 concept car was undergoing some real-world evaluation and winter road condition testing in northern Japan, and so far there have been very positive reviews about it. Generally, Toyota's new hydrogen combustion engine is a true game changer when it comes to the automotive industry. It has got to be one of the most environmentally friendly engines, producing only water as a byproduct. In addition to that, it also has a longer range, faster refueling times, and reduces the need for limited supply materials. We are yet to find out how the real-world testing goes, but it won't be long before we start seeing these cars on the road. If the hydrogen-powered engine were to become successful, the Japanese government plans to have about 200 zero-fuel cell-powered vehicles on the road by 2025, which is in 1 year. To add to this, they plan to add all this up to 800, zero by 2030. To support this, it goes without saying that they have to build more refueling stations across the country. We've already seen that the hydrogen combustion engine is unlike any other. But what about the pros and cons of this engine? Well, let's start with the pros. The first one, which is also the most obvious one, is that it is a very eco-friendly engine. Given that it uses hydrogen as its source of fuel, it doesn't have harmful byproducts, just as we have said. Furthermore, hydrogen is a clean fuel on its own compared to traditional gasoline engines. The second advantage is that this engine has a very effective cooling system. The innovative water cooling system addresses one of the major challenges of an engine, which is the high temperatures. This system, which comes with hydrogen combustion engines, potentially enhances engine performance and longevity. This means that things like overheating problems would become very rare if the engine were to be used in the real world. And, as we all know, that is something that would really save a lot of drivers. The third most common advantage is that this engine uses completely familiar technology. Since the engine mainly operates on a system similar to traditional engines, it is easier to integrate this engine into other automotive design and manufacturing processes. This is a great advantage for Toyota because they can just modify some of their other cars to integrate this engine. This engine has clearly made some strong points when it comes to its advantages. However, nothing is without its disadvantages. And the very first disadvantage is the production and infrastructure of hydrogen. We have already seen that the engine is more than eco-friendly. However, what many people don't know is that this is completely dependent on how the hydrogen is produced. At the moment, even though there is widespread production of hydrogen, it is not always sustainable. Therefore, if these cars are meant to be produced in large quantities, then the automaker has to figure out how to deal with this issue first. As much as hydrogen is there, even in lower quantities, there is still a problem with the hydrogen fueling infrastructure. Given that hydrogen cars are not as common, there are very few hydrogen fueling stations compared to gasoline and electric charging stations. The other problem that comes with hydrogen combustion engines is their complexity and cost. As much as it uses a similar architecture to other engines, it has a dual water injection system. When you combine this with the need for precise control by the ECU, the entire system becomes a bit complex. An increase in complexity automatically adds to the manufacturing costs for the automaker. On the other hand, it also becomes costly for the owner to maintain this car, mainly because the parts are not as common. Let's say that Toyota was to achieve large-scale production of this engine. They would still have to deal with the issue of market readiness. As of now, the production-ready version of this design is still in development and testing. Even if it were to be passed as ready for the market, the automaker would definitely need more time before the car would be commercially available. By making this hydrogen combustion engine, Toyota has demonstrated its commitment to exploring multiple solutions for sustainable transportation.